Hi, this is Choice from Negrand US. I'm providing feedback for the current build of the 4.1 public test realm, which was released yesterday. So it's fairly early on in the build, and there's going to be a lot of changes. But figured that I'll give my current opinion on a lot of changes. As you can see here, this is a live character. This is my current setup. So, not exactly setting the world on fire, but I do know what I'm talking about, for the most part. I hope so, at least. If I don't, that would be a problem. And before we start, yes, my UI looks like garbage currently. It's 5 minutes worth of work, trying to emulate my UI on live. A lot of mods aren't working, so... So, I've tried this dozens of times now, and I'm starting to get bored of it. So I'm just going to try and get this take right, and leave it at that. So, World of Glory feedback. With its current build in the 4.1 build, now has a 20-second cooldown, as opposed to no cooldown. What this means for Prot Paladins is that excluding Eternal Glory procs and Divine Plea, you're going to get off half the Word of Glories you normally would, assuming that you use the Holy Power on every 3 stack for a Word of Glory. Now, this is done purely because Prot Paladins are putting out too much healing right now, in comparison to other tanks. You know, because if you look at healing as an alternate form of mitigation, well, it's not really mitigation, but as another way of reducing the overall chance of you dying, it seems to be helping a bit too much, especially in lower content, where you can just use Word of Glory in every single cooldown, and you'd be fine. So with this change now, obviously, a lot less healing will be coming out. My suggestion for Blizzard is that, with its current setup, it's fine, I guess. It's something needed to be done with it. But make Eternal Glory reset the cooldown on Word of Glory, purely because with the 20-second cooldown there is very little reason to take it unless you want to pad your meters in terms of damage. I know personally when I spec'd into Eternal Glory, it was not so I could get off more shields or apply Inquisitor. It was to get the additional healing or reapply the shield should I need it. So that talent really has no purpose now, because you've got a 20-second cooldown, and there's no way you're going to still have that Holy Power sitting around by the time that cooldown comes off. Okay, so feedback on the Divine Guardian change, hopefully without interruption from Ventrilo. Hello, Shannon. Anyway, Divine Guardian change. 2 minutes to 3 minutes with this current build. The reason why they did that is obviously they're adding in another cooldown with Arms Warriors, 20% health increase, which in essence is going to do similar to what the Divine Guardian thing is doing. Another reason why they changed that is because on a 2-minute cooldown, if you look at the average fight being 6 minutes, assuming that you weren't saving Divine Guardian for any specific cooldown, such as Crackle on Nefarian, you'd be able to get off 3 of those cooldowns, and you know, that's pretty substantial. So with the change to 3 minutes, it's going to mean a lot less early use of it in certain situations, an example of which is Nefarian. For example, with Nefarian, I'd Divine Guardian the first Crackle at 90%, and then I'd get the second one at Phase 2. Pretty much just to maximise the use of it. I'd then also get the next one in Phase 3, but by then I'm distracted and can't remember how many Crackles into the fight it is until it's off cooldown. But regardless, it's going to mean a lot less uses of Divine Guardian. It's probably going to reduce the value of Prot Paladins as a tank above other people in terms of raid cooldowns. I personally haven't seen any evidence that Divine Guardian change... Sorry, the use of Divine Guardian as a whole, the change doesn't mean anything. The use of Divine Guardian as a whole has increased the value of Prot Paladins to the degree that other tanks would be shunned for them. I know that our guild did indulge in 2 Prot Paladins for one night on Nefarian, but in our final kill that wasn't the setup we used. Now, feedback on the change to the crafted Elementium shield, if I can find it. Where is it? There it is. Okay, so if you compare the stats of this to Nefarian's shield, it's not looking good for the Nefarian shield. If you look at it, hang on, I'm gonna go see if I can find a gem for it. Probably won't be any in the AH, but I've got faith. Nope, there's none up there. That's not good. Alright, we're just gonna have to go with an assumption. Okay, let's imagine that there's a 20 mastery, 30 stamina gem in there. What that's going to give you is 45 extra stamina to what's currently in there, because it's a blue socket. You're also going to increase your mastery to 10 above what the Nefarian shield gives you. Now that's a pretty big net increase overall in terms of mastery gain, even with the nerf to it, and you gain a lot more stamina. Obviously there's still the point of replacing the parry with hit, but I think that as far as an end boss shield goes, I think that you're really lessening the value of Nefarian's shield. I think if you were to add the gem socket to Nefarian shield and apply the same changes, that would be fine, because obviously on par shield is what they had before. But I just can't help but feel like I'm going to be going back to the crafted shield once this patch hits, which I don't think you should be getting for raiders that have killed Nefarian.